Yeah, come on in, the Organic Fanatics. Welcome to the show. I appreciate y'all coming in, taking time out of your day and watching us. We're just gonna talk a little bit about week two, second week on there. Recap a couple of the games on there. We didn't go live on there because we were too into the game. So we played against the Orlando Magic, a young team. That was a good win, and that's a difference from a young team an experienced team and a veteran team. What you saw there, which is what we're working on getting better. So against a young team, we played well. We finished all the way to the end. We were able to take our foot off the gas a little bit, and then they gave us a little scare, and then we came back and applied that pressure. But you can't play that way when you're playing against a Milwaukee like how we did, and they just went off. When you have an experienced team, a championship team, it's got to be 48 minutes of complete play. There was some breakdowns here and there, but between the Milwaukee game and then what we also saw in the Cleveland game, which we actually played very good. We were winning all the way to the third quarter, but it's the same thing. We didn't play for 48 minutes. It's 48 minutes of basketball. To be a winner, to be a top team, you got to play 48 minutes. No superstar is going to get the rest of the team to play 48 minutes. Everybody's wanting to trade and get someone else. You got to play 48 minutes, whether you got a superstar or you don't have a superstar. All right. The only difference from that is knowing your role. So that has been the key difference from the last two losses, Milwaukee and Cleveland. And it's going to be the same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta, they can get into a hot streak. That's how they got us in the playoffs at one time. Once they get hot, or once any team gets momentum, you're not. It's very difficult to slow that down. So that's where we lost. We saw Cleveland got momentum towards the fourth quarter, and then that's how we lost there. So you got to play through all four quarters. That's going to be key going through. That's part of the development. That's where we're at now. We're a combination of veterans, which we're veterans now, and some young talent. But now as a unit, we're learning to play together. We're learning to play together for 48 minutes. That's why I said 45-ish games. So even if you said a 50 burger, that's still 30 L's, right? That's 30 losses at some point. So what are you learning in those losses? Which it seems that's what we're talking about, that we're learning. So with losses come learning. So we'll see as the season progresses, are we learning? Are we developing? Or are we continuing bad habits? If we continue bad habits, that's where around the 20 to 25 game mark, I'll say around 20 games, you might see a change. Quentin Grimes would be a plus there, but you can't count. Again, it's not on one person. It's a team defense. It's everybody. When the subs come in, can the subs continue that same effort, that same consistency, that same energy, that same defensive play? That's where Tibbs has, as a unit, everyone should know the scheme, the defensive schemes. So when we go against the Keebler Elf today, it's going to be telling to see if we can snatch his cookies against the Keebler Elf. Tonight we got Atlanta. It's going to be a tough challenge. We can't leave Mitch out there alone with Capella. They pick and roll us to death. I wish we can take some of those plays with Jalen Brunson and Mitch. I still think we should have at least 3 to 5 pick and rolls with Brunson and Mitch per game. He's way better finisher than Capella. He can catch the ball almost anywhere. Evan's been trying to find them, but he's been off with his passes. Still Mitch and RJ are the only ones finding him. So that's going to be telling tonight's game. So if we can learn how to play for 48 minutes and how to play defense from the three-point line, because we were getting murdered from the three-point line, that's where we have to focus on today. So can we close out at the three-point line? Can we stop cheating and going under the screens? You saw Cam going around the screens, and he'll get reaching, or he's just a little step slow. But it's going to take time. Again, this is his first time getting heavy minutes. I would love to see him. I think this would be a redemption game for him in Atlanta. I'd love to see him play. They're saying he might have an illness, no, flu-like symptoms or something. I would love to see him play this game. I think he'd be motivated going against his old team, getting minutes. He's in the rotation. Him versus Hunter, I would like to see that. I would like to see him play against Hunter, because that's who they basically got him rid of. They got rid of him for Hunter. So Hunter's a good player, though. He's talented. I think he also suffers from health issues. You know, he's always sporadic missing games. So it's going to be an interesting game today. I think we're going to learn our lesson from the last two losses. I think this will be a bounce back win, a tough win. But whoever plays 48 minutes of defense is going to win the game. They're not known for defense for 48 minutes. They can outscore you. They can get hot real quick. So the matchups are going to be pretty interesting. You got a Capella versus Mitch. You know, Randall versus what's his name with the $90 million. They complain. Who cares? So it's going to be interesting who we got. Evan, I got to give it to him. He's definitely trying. He's a foot slow. He's reaching a lot. He's playing defense with his hands, not his feet. But he's trying. He's done a couple of steals. He's done a couple of plays. And he's our only shooter, consistently shooting. So by him being really our best shooter, I think he's close to 40% for the year on threes. So until someone steps up, it's about, if you want to be the starter, you want to be that guy, you got to be able to beat out the starters. I said it in other videos. If Obi wants to be out there more than Randall, you got to essentially outplay Randall. And he hasn't been as consistent, but his shot looks really good. I like Obi's three-point shot is looking really good. So they're coming along. They're coming along. So our bench is deeper than most teams. Now our bench has to be more consistent. IQ struggled early, but you got to give the man props. He's played through even not scoring. The game that he didn't score anything yet, I believe 7 rebounds and like 6 assists. I could be wrong in stats, but it was up there. Or 9 rebounds and 7 assists. So, and no points. So that's definitely admirable. So he's playing. He's looking for his teammates. He doesn't have a clear role, so he's going to be pretty much a scorer off the bench. We may put him at the 1. We may put him at the 2. So everybody just has to be comfortable and fluid and be ready to play. So, again, Deuce, would love to see him and at least Jericho get sunburn. But we knew that coming into the season that they're probably going to be the odd man out until an injury or something happens. So maybe with Cam and Quentin out, we may see Deuce tonight. So he may guard the Leprechaun. That may slide over. Maybe heavier minutes for Rose. So we'll see how that plays out. So if Cam is not in the game, Quentin's not in the game, we may see a Deuce sighting. So I think Deuce may get like 10 minutes or so. See how he looks with the second team. So that's going to be something to look out for. I'd love Cam, but it looks like he may not be in there. I think we may win by about 3. I think it's going to be a really close game to the end. I think between 3 and 5 points. I'm rooting for us to pull out that win. Hartenstein, I don't know if they got anybody that can really match against him for our bench. So our bench looks really good. Hartenstein's playing very good. He's doing a lot of great things, a lot of rebounding, a lot of passing. He's fouling a lot, but you can't say that's not effort. He's fouling. Hey, use all 6 if you got to. You got somebody else on the bench, so use them up. You know, let them know that we're not going to play them soft. So I think that's going to be key. You know, foul them if you got to, as long as it's not the one that they're looking at now. So if it's fast breaks, you can't foul them there because you get the shot and then you get possession again. So as long as we're not doing that like we did the last game and got 3 of them, that's going to be key there as well. Brunson is doing good. I think he's trying too much, a little hero ball. I think he just has to control. He's doing really good, though. He's definitely the difference maker. I think he just has to focus a little more now on facilitating and controlling the offense. He's doing a wonderful job talking to Julius, keeping Julius focused throughout the game, getting, him and then Randall, also to RJ, staying in the game, keeping each other motivated. RJ's doing good. RJ's driving, going to the hole. He's averaging almost 20 per game. So he's doing good. I would love to see him. He's trying to work on that little floater. I'd love to see a little mid-range jump shot somewhere in the free throw line. Take it into the free throw area, little jump shot. He's doing the floater from there, but I think he needs a jump shot, a mid-range jump shot like DeMar DeRozan. He said he was going to work with him in the offseason. Maybe he couldn't, but if he can get anywhere between DeMar DeRozan's mid-range game, unstoppable. I think he's a better shooter from 3 than he is, so I think that's going to be the next development for sure next year. Mid-range, he's working on the floater this year and the 3-pointer consistency as well as free throws. So he can't do everything at one time, and you got to practice those within games. So I think you're going to start seeing the floater more. 3-point shot, free throw this year, and next year mid-range game. I think that as development that'll work through. But he's doing good. He's starting a lot faster than he did and all of his previous years. He's always used a slow starter, but he's doing good. He's getting started. He's averaging more points than he's done before, so I think that's going to help his average throughout the year. So overall, I'm seeing a positiveness from what we have. So the team's getting to know each other. With Brunson was included, so that takes a little time. That's why I said the 44 mark. It's going to take a little time for them to gel, to know exactly where each player is going to be at, where they can count each other for the help defense. And that's what they're learning now, the help defense. So that's where you're going to see them struggle and talk to each other. You're supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be there. Help me out here. Hopefully they're not relying a lot on Mitch. And speaking of Mitch, he's getting in a lot of foul trouble early this year. I think that goes back to the help defense. I think they're relying a lot on Mitch, but he's had some fouls where he's bringing his arm down instead of staying straight up. Hopefully he can correct that now so he can stay on the court, because him not able to do that, it's giving a lot of minutes to Hartenstein. Yes, Hartenstein's doing good, but we need Mitch on the floor to play at least 25 minutes plus. If he plays 25 minutes plus, we're going to win the game. Another positive this year for our team, we're doing good assisting. So we're doing our assists are up and our fast break, two things that we were focused on. So if we can get 25 assists plus today, that should be a W in 48 minutes. That's all I got for you guys today. Just recapping the 2 weeks. Great win against the Magic. A respectable game against a prior championship team. But we got to learn 48 minutes from that. And then close out defense. How to close out a game against Cleveland. We had the game, pretty much the entire game, even though they didn't have Garland. Everybody can say whatever. They didn't have Garland. We didn't have Quentin. Whoever's suited up is suited up. That's how it works. You on the court, you're on the court, wherever it is. That's a W. They're not going to say, you look back in history, oh, they won because so-and-so wasn't there. They're just going to look at the W's and losses for that year. So hopefully we could do better and learn 48 minutes of gameplay this year. As we're developing throughout the year, 48 minutes is what we're looking at. So let's go Knicks. I say we get that W against Atlanta. Stay with your team. Don't doubt them. Stop jumping off the bandwagon, guys. Enough of the PTSD. No playoff talk syndrome. All right? No PTSD. None of that. All right? Just bring it down. Support the team. It's still early, my guys and gals. It's early. We're on like game 9. Relax. Relax. All right? Stay on the wagon. Stop jumping off. We can't keep reaching back to get you back in the wagon. Our arms are only so long. We can't jump off and then we keep bringing you back in. Relax. Okay? Inhale. Exhale. Woosah. Whatever you got to do. The ear up. Whatever you got to do. Relax. Go Knicks.